Hello everyone, how's it going? BigLT here. Welcome to another top 10 video. It's been a while, but you know what? I was saving it. So, today's top 10 video games I first played in the year 2022. It was kind of hard to basically figure out what my top 10 were, but over the course of the year, I apparently had written down a list and I double checked everything, and I actually had to make one slight change for today to put on the list that I completely glossed over. But anyway, I am ready to begin the top 10. So, number 10, Digimon Survive. Technically speaking, I haven't beaten it or gotten far in it, but I will say this. I do like the idea of visual story and RPG. A lot of people said that the visual novel aspect takes away from the battling. I can't say that myself, but technically speaking, I do a lot of battling more than I actually do anything with the visual novel itself. So I find Digimon Survive really fun. It seems really good as far as how far I've been into it, and I'm looking forward to playing more so I can actually find out how the story ends. Anyway, number 9. I could be butchering this name, so I do apologize. Disgaea 1 Complete. The reason why I got into the idea of Disgaea in the first place was because of a certain character named Etna. And after playing it for a little while, I am a little stuck right now because I don't know what to do, but I'm looking to try to get through it a little more. But it's a really fun RPG. It's a turn-based RPG, at least kind of turn-based. Your army actually takes full control first before the other army, but it's got voice acting in it. I don't know if all the original voice actors are come back to it. Laharl sounds like he has, compared to what I've heard between the anime and the game. Can't say that exactly for sure, but I do own the anime. I'm going to look into watching it someday. Probably be here in another month or two. We'll see what happens, but my favorite characters do include Etna, Floan, and the Prinnies. I do like the Prinnies because they always go like, dude. Every time it's like, all right, dude, I'll get to work. So I really like the Prinnies just because of that one word, dude. They're just awesome. Kind of weak fighters, but really funny with their dialogue. Anyway, number 8, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. This isn't just the 9th movie. You know, it's all 9 movies. It's not just the 9th one. It's all 9. From the prequels, the original, and the sequels. And I've only played the prequels part so far. But regardless, I'm actually surprised that the Star Wars, the full Star Wars games actually now have the voice acting. I have played, what's it called? It's the 7th movie. And I'm probably gonna have a lot of people telling me it's this one. Yeah, I know. I can never remember it. It's not The Last Jedi. It's the one before that, I think. Oh shoot, that's gonna bother me. But I'm sure Scotty Boy Rules will message me and say it's this one. I'm like, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, Force Awakens. That's it. The Force Awakens. So the Force Awakens. I'm thinking Force Unleashed now. The Force Awakens started with the voice acting for the Star Wars game, but the original 6 didn't. And seeing the voices for Jar Jar and Obi-Wan, Anakin, Qui-Gon, the whole 9 yards, even Grievous, even though I haven't seen Grievous yet, but I'm sure he does do the thing. All of them do voice acting. Now, the only thing I can't say for sure exactly if they have the voice acting for would be the DLC characters, because I want to see if Ahsoka talks, or at least how she would talk. So, but the cool thing is it stays true to the Lego concept. Comedy while staying true to the original. It's funny. I love it. Definitely love the game. Number 7, Temtem. Technically speaking, my series is still on hold for a little longer, but regardless, I've been enjoying Temtem a lot more than when I first played it on PC, and that was a few years ago. I'm actually including it for this year because I'm actually enjoying it better off of my like Xbox than I say when I was trying to play it on Steam. Because when I was playing it with the Steam version on my computer, I only got as far as the first route, and that's it. I can never see any further because of how bad my computer was running for the game. So I wasn't counting it for that, but I am counting it because now it's released on consoles besides PS5. I've actually been playing it that way, and I've gotten a lot farther. I've gotten to experience the story a lot better, and I'm actually making a loophole on this one and saying I'm including it for this year instead of the previous years. So number 7 is Temtem. I do like some of the Temtem creatures that are in the game. Lumas are apparently amazing. I haven't got one yet myself yet, but I'm hoping to work on it. I do remember Parker really likes certain Temtem. I think she mentioned one of her favorites was Pig Epic. Story's great so far as I know. I really enjoy it. It's really good. And I like the whole customization. Like you can customize your character right from the get-go before you even start off. It's not like everybody has to go with the default outfit before they can even start the game. No, you basically just customize your character right away before the gameplay even kicks in. You know, your hair, and your clothes, everything. And then when you get further in the game, then you can get other options to customize your character, but they cost a lot. So you don't get much Pansons, I think is what the name of the currency is. You don't get enough Pansons to actually get everything that you want, so to speak. But then again, with me, I just buy temp cards, but that's a whole nother yards. So anyway, moving on. Number 6, Gran Turismo 7. This is actually the first Gran Turismo game that I've actually beaten, and I enjoyed it. It was a really good racing game. I've had some slight troubles with it here and there, but regardless, game's great. A little bit better with the livery stuff than what Forza does, but Forza's got the better driving simulating thing going for it. But the livery community is the best on Gran Turismo 7 because you can download other people's like custom-made liveries that's not already on a car, put it on your car, and then upload it to the community. Forza doesn't do that. It's just if you use somebody else's creation, you can't upload it to the community. It kind of sucks. So big improvement with that. You know, other than that, Gran Turismo 7 has some great stuff. You know, they have this menu thing that you have to go through to collect cars, progress through the story, which surprisingly there is a story. Compared to Gran Turismo Sport, I don't think there was a story. But you get menu items, you have to complete them to progress through the story. You go to championships, you do a series of 2, 3, 4, or 5 races. And then from there, it's just, once you get a certain amount of like menus done, credits roll, you basically become the world Gran Turismo champion. And from there, it's just additional menu books that you can complete by buying other cars. That doesn't require having you go to racetracks to get them. And there's a lot of cool things. There's also a Legends auto shop. There's a used car dealership where you can sell your cars, but you can't do that until after the actual story. I wish I knew about that. And aside from that, it's really great. AI is a little bit sluggish, so to speak. I mean, I wouldn't say sluggish because, okay, truth be told, when you first play the game and you have certain requirements when you start your first race or whatever, it's not a big deal on account of the fact that you can overpower your car's power, so to speak, so go faster, and you can go through the races like easy. The first half you can do that. After a certain point, you have to be under a certain power, and that's when you really have to build up your skill and say, okay, can I beat this now? Especially when sometimes they trick you with like certain weather effects and saying, oh, this one requires wet, but the other ones don't. It's kind of weird. So that's my thing about Gran Turismo 7. I also, one more thing, I can find a lot more liveries that I'm actually more a fan of, which mainly is the anime stuff. There's a lot of Miku ones out there, a lot of animes I watch, like Arya, the Scarlet Ammo, there's Genshin. IA's on there, but I haven't seen One. No Game No Life are on there. Liveries that you find on Gran Turismo, you may have a better chance of finding than you do on Forza. That's just my thing. Like, if you go on Forza, you might even like you just see one. But like on Gran Turismo, you can find just about all of them. And it's amazing. Moving on. Number 5, WWE 2K22. Big improvement from 2K20. I will admit that. It doesn't crash, which is a plus. And the fact that they added rendered images for your superstars, so you can have an image of yourself in the game with your created character, or just any like you can have AEW guys and then just have a rendered image of them, put them on their character, and when you go up to a menu screen or universe mode or whatever, it shows that rendered image instead of the custom character or the custom superstar or women's roster, whatever. I'm a big fan of that. I will admit that was a major plus. I've seen these before with like W12 and I think even W13 when they did rendered images, but you had to get them off of Community Creations with the superstar. And I'm glad that 2K decided, okay, maybe we're listening to the community. We're going to put these rendered images as an option, and they did, and it's awesome. I love that. And it kind of sucks though, because if you buy like the season pass thing, you get the DLC for new characters, but you don't get an accelerator. I mean, you kind of do, but you kind of don't, because the stuff that you have to unlock in the showcase mode, you have to unlock in the showcase mode. They don't give it to you right away. So I'm still without Dominic Mysterio, which you have to do the bonus match, and you have to do all the other matches with Rey Mysterio, with his greatest matches and everything, to even do that. It kind of sucks. And they even have certain championships locked in that too. Like the World Heavyweight Championship is locked between one of Rey Mysterio's matches that he had somewhere in the mid-2000s. I want to say it was either between... No, it can't be between JBL. I think it was against Kane. I was going to say JBL, but I could be wrong on that. It's either JBL or it's Kane. One of the two. I don't remember. But it's one of those two. And there's like a cool thing. Like with Rey Mysterio, with his theme song from like 2006, 2007, I'm a big fan of that theme song, Rey Mysterio. Glad they put in GM mode. Not a big fan of GM mode myself, with the fact that I could never understand it with SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, which was the only time I played GM mode, and I'd never really been a fan of that. But this one actually seems like a bigger improvement than what 2007 brought to the table with that game. I've been hearing a lot of people are enjoying it. The only downside that I have to say about it is that I wish they can give you more, so to speak. Like, okay, when I say give you more, I mean like maybe do additional years kind of thing. Like maybe like give us an option to set as many years we want in the My GM mode. You can do certain weeks, yes, but aside from the weeks, maybe like you can do weeks, but you can also do years. Say like you want to do the full 50 weeks, but you want to do it within 10 years or something like that. Like you can still have the 1 year one, but then you have like 5, 10, or 20. 20 seems a lot, but you know what? That would make a great series for anybody out there that's a wrestling, WWE, whatever, YouTube channel type of thing, like Macho T, or some of the ones that Scotty watches, I think, are Pulse and Dank Ops, some of those guys. Anyway, moving on. Number 4, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Truth be told, I was having this at number 1, but something came up and I had to swap that or push it down some more. I will admit the bugs and the performance issues. Yes, that is a problem. When I first played it, I was oblivious. I had to have Parker point it out to me so I can see it more better, and I've been seeing it a lot better. But the things I've been seeing online with it, I have not come across. Like the whole stretched out arms, stretched out legs, all that stuff. Ride-on, apparently being bugged out when they jump and try to land, things like that. I've never had that problem. I haven't had that problem, probably because I'm not game breaking the game as much to do that. So, or doing some of the stuff, there's doing some of the features that would cause it, like the camera thing or whatever, posing. But regardless, the Pokemon in the game, the new Pokemon are awesome. I like a lot of them. Then again, what Pokemon don't I like? Story was great. Even the ending, I really enjoyed the ending so much. Even the ending credits, the song they put into the ending credits, amazing. I give it an A plus. And I'm not trying to go into any spoilers, but that's for those reasons alone, that's an A plus. I like the idea that you have the Titans, Team Star, and the gyms all rolled up in one, and they all give you badges. Every single one of them will give you a badge. Elite Four was awesome. So was the champion. Rivals are awesome. They're amazing. Everything about it was just everything about it, from the story, the characters. Those are awesome. The only downside would be the performance issues, the bugs and the glitches. I'm sure they can patch it. They have, maybe if they're not working on a new Pokemon game that would be like coexist with Scarlet and Violet in some way. Like if they say, oh, we're gonna do DLC like they did with Sword and Shield, they could give them some time to say, we're gonna be doing some patches to try to make the game perform better. So please please hang on until that happens. And then when they do get that, give us the patch, then give us the DLC. Also, one more thing I'll bring up, starters are great. I love every one of them, but I do have my favorites, mainly Sprigito and Quaxly. I wasn't sure if I was going to be a Quaxly fan, but then once I fully evolved it into the Peacock Pokemon, which I still can't say its name for the life of me, I've loved that Pokemon just as much as I love Sprigito and even its evolutions. And a lot of people don't like Sprigito's evolutions because it's bipedal. Who cares? Who cares? Anyway, number 3. We're at the top 3 now. Pac-Man World Repack. I love it. I love it so much. Only downside I can say is that they didn't do the voice acting like the original did. And some of the translation, or some of the actual names were kind of lost from the original to the remaster. I will give the Pac-Man one a pass. I found out it was because of some legal issues with Miss Pac-Man, which I was like, okay, if that's the case, I'll be all for it. But because they talk like gibberish, and so to speak, it's just no. And then I'll say this right now, spoiler alert. I'll give you 5 seconds. Okay, so when you beat Talkman and you have the ghost, they call him Talkman's ghost, which I didn't like on account of the original said his name was Orson. And that was kind of like the downside. I was like, I don't like that. So I'm willing to give the Pac-Man thing a pass. I think in my series, I didn't like the idea. It wasn't until I found out a little bit later that it was because of legal issues they can't use Miss Pac-Man. I'm okay with that now. If that was the problem, I didn't want them to get a lawsuit for having something like that and have it be a problem. So regardless, because they were gibberish, like they were doing like little noises and gibberish kind of things, you know, like and something like that. I didn't like that, considering like in the original, the PS1 version of Pac-Man World, they actually did talk and they spoke English. They didn't just have subtitles. And again, they never had subtitles. But I brought it up at the end of my video. They showed them talking. You know, the final video they have of that series on my channel. Once I got done beating Talkman, credits rolled and everything, and we were about ready to wrap up, went on YouTube, gave a shout out to the 2 channels that had these videos that showed the original cutscenes and the outtakes, and we shout out to them. So that was the only downside. Otherwise, the levels are great, aside from Anubis Rex, again, being just as hard as the original, but I found a way to get around that now. I should have just used easy mode when I did the series. Would have saved myself the anger. But, no, a lot of my favorite levels from the original to the remake, awesome. King Galaxians was just really great. Really great. I gave that an A+. There's so many good ones. Like, some of the ones from the Boss Mansion levels are really good too. Funhouse ones were good. Everything about the games were good. The only downside is I wish they included the outtakes for this game like they did for the last one. Like do a similar outtakes thing or just completely new outtakes all in one. I would have been funny. Even throw in some new ones. Who cares? I would have been loving that. Of course, they did do some DLC where they gave you a jukebox to say, oh, you can play the jukebox in the game. You can listen to your favorite tracks while you play the game. The only difference is you can't play your favorite tracks while you're in the levels. It only works on Ghost Island. So yeah, that's Pac-Man World Repack. Number 2. This is for Parker. Slime Rancher 2. I was a fan of the original, and the sequel is just as good. I can't wait for them to be giving us these new updates. They already told us they're giving us a new island and some new slimes and stuff in an update coming up in 2023. So I don't know when it is. I want to say it's going to be like February, March, or April that they'll drop it. Not confirmed by me. This is just my speculation. I'm not saying this is no. I'm thinking like February, March, or April. They're going to drop this thing, and it's going to be amazing. Once they do drop it, I'm going to let Parker know and tell her, hey, we got to start working on Slime Rancher 2 again because they got the new stuff. They got that new update with the new island and everything. Let's start playing. Let's resume the series and go from there. And we probably will. And I like the new slimes. The cotton slime is probably my favorite. Batty is just as good. What other ones was there? There was... Oh, it's known as the ringtail, but we made the joke about it a lot. Everybody did. Tanuki slime. Love that one the most. Everything about the Tanuki slime or ringtail slime, whatever you want to call it. It's awesome. I think it's probably one of my personal favorites. When I was playing the game on Miku's account, Miku wanted every slime based on the Tanuki, and we did. It was fun. So yeah, there's Slime Rancher 2. Also, I will say one more thing. The way they did the gadgets and the materials are awesome. I like the new island in general, Rainbow Island and Ember Valley or whatever it's called. Those places. I know it's only the 3, and I know they're going to give us more. And there's a lot of lore going on around here about the game and everything about it. Can't wait to see how this mystery is going to be solved and everything. And I'm sure there's going to be more updates as the years go on. It's not just going to be this one update and they're done. I'm sure they're going to add like 7 more updates, all with new slimes and locations, and maybe some like kind of what they did with Odin's Wilds or Mochi's Manor or whatever, things like that. So I'm sure they'll do that. We'll just see what happens. It's too soon. I know the game just released a few months ago, but regardless, it's really good. I do like it. Love the new slimes. Glad they brought some returning slimes. Not all of them, but some good ones. Some fan favorites. So anyway, we went through 9 of these the games that I played that are on this list from 2022 that I first played. Number 1, I feel like should have won an award at the Game Awards. I was really sad that it was beaten by something else, and I wish it actually got the award because it was just, the game itself was breathtaking. It was awesome. I think like it was one of the best directions the series has ever gotten. Characters, everything about it was great. It was different. I feel sad that they couldn't win an award. Number 1, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I love the idea. Hisui was a great region, even though it's just basically an old-time Sinnoh. I like the characters, mainly Irida and Akari. The idea of having to fill up the Pokedex and solve the space-time problem and all that stuff, and where you came from, going to meet up with Arceus, and the way they made you fill the Pokedex, it wasn't just catch this one that's registered. No, you had to do all sorts of cool things. Like if you catch a Starly, you have to see the Starly use Quick Attack so many times to get the full report. If you catch a Shinx, you have to use Electric type move so many times, or use Bite so many times. If you come across a Weasel, you have to hit it with the super effective Grass type attack so many times. Those are just some examples. I don't know if they were actually in those Pokedex things, but they were amazing. I loved it. Shiny hunting in there too was just as easy too, because all you had to do was walk around. If you hear the pring, that means, oh, there's a shiny that just spawned. Where is it? You got to look for it. Mass outbreaks. that was cool too, because the Mass Outbreaks was also able to let you shiny hunt as well. Especially the mass outbreaks, but that was like post-game kind of stuff. So if there was ever a mass outbreak in a certain location, you go to it, you save in front of the Snorlax, you get this Munchlax, you save in front of the Munchlax, you give them these like berries, and then you can see all the Pokemon that are on the thing. Then you reload, and then you go to the ones you want and see if you can find a shiny out of them. It's great, and I loved it. Everything about Legends Arceus was great. And I love the fact that a lot of the characters were basically ancestors of some of the characters that we already know in the Pokemon region. Like there's an ancestor for Mars, there's an ancestor for Candace, there's an ancestor for May. Which one's May? It's Arita. I always feel like because the way Arita was dressed and how she looked, she had to have been May's ancestor. And I'm glad she was the leader of the Pearl Clan. You had the ancestor for Professor Rowan. You had the ancestor for Cyrus. You had ancestor of Clay, who, technically speaking, was from Unova, but he actually had an ancestor that was part of Sinnoh and Hisui. All sorts of ancestors. And then you find out that these ancestors are descendants of characters that we've known over the years, like May and Dawn, Cyrus, everybody. Bertha, Agatha, I don't know which one it is, but it's a ground type user. Or a combination of them both, who knows. Like, everyone. Even there's like ancestor of Cynthia. There's ancestor of Cynthia. And the only downside I will give this game is that I was not a fan of the Origin form Palkia and Dialga. It was a downgrade compared to what they gave us with Giratina back at Platinum version. Giratina's Origin form is bar none the best. It's always been the best. When I saw Palkia's, my main guy and my main legendary for Sinnoh, it broke my heart to see looking like that. It was like, it could have been something better, but it wasn't, and it kind of sucks. And even Dialga, like I was like, well, if I have no faith in Palkia, how good is Dialga? It's not as good either, and it really doesn't do him justice. I think that's the only downside I give Legends Arceus, even though it's on number one. The only downside I can give Legends Arceus is the fact that Origin form Palkia and Dialga just aren't as good as what we got with Giratina back at Platinum version. That's the only downside I can give them. So, anyway, that's it. Those are my top 10. Those are my top 10 games I played, or first played, in the year 2022. I was going to put Farming Simulator 22 on here, but I realized that was a game from last year. If I included it this year, I feel like I give it a little, I'll be breaking my own rules. I could have said, Platinum expansion, but I barely played any of that to actually enjoy it. Whereas, I played the base game maps more than I've actually played the Platinum expansions. So because of that, I couldn't really include it. So, oh well. But if I did include it, that's a game I played almost the whole year. Even Forza Horizon 5, I played throughout the whole year. The only thing about Forza Horizon 5 is just like Farming Simulator 22, that came out 2021, not 2022. So I can't really include it. So, I think that's it. So, thanks all so much for watching this top 10 video. I know it's long, but a lot of times these things can be long. And I'm looking forward to doing this again in the year 2023. I will be keeping a close update of all the games that I've been playing throughout the year of 2023 in my phone. And when it gets close to the end of December, like it is right now, I will be doing another video like this and sharing you guys my top 10 video games I first played in the year 2023. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Like, share, subscribe. Bye-bye.